My sister kept accidentally eating my food, so I made a special meal just for her. She regretted it instantly. Look, I 25M don't ask for much in life. A roof over my head, a job that doesn't make me miserable, and most importantly, my own damn food. But apparently in my household, that last part is too much to ask for. Why? Because I have a sister, Emily, 23F, who is a human-sized raccoon with zero boundaries when it comes to food. And the worst part? My parents enable her. Emily has been stealing my food for years. It started with small things, swiping a couple of my fries, eating the last slice of pizza I had been saving. Annoying? Yes, but manageable. But over time, her accidents became full-blown crimes against my stomach. If I put leftovers in the fridge, they'd be gone by morning. If I bought a pack of my favorite snacks, she'd inhale them like a black hole before I even opened the bag. I tried talking to my parents about it, but they hit me with the same excuses every time. She's your little sister. Just share with her. You're a grown man, you can always buy more food. Emily didn't mean to eat it, she just thought it was for everyone. Bull. Crap. Meanwhile, Emily just giggled, batted her eyes, and got away with everything. My parents catered to her like she was some kind of princess, while I was just the peasant who had to endure it. The breaking point? A few weeks ago, my girlfriend Mia, 24F, made me a special homemade lasagna. Now, Mia isn't just some casual cook. This girl has skills. She spent hours perfecting the recipe, making sure it was exactly the way I liked it. It was cheesy, meaty, and layered with love. The kind of meal you save for yourself and savor. I came home that night dreaming about that lasagna. I could practically taste the melted cheese, feel the perfect ratio of sauce and pasta in my mouth. But when I opened the fridge, gone. Nothing left, not a single bite. Just an empty glass container in the sink. And who else but Emily came waltzing into the kitchen, licking her fingers like some kind of criminal mastermind. "Oh my God, that was so good," she said, stretching like she just had the best meal of her life. "You should totally get Mia to make another one." I saw red. "You ate my lasagna?" I asked, trying to keep my voice level. She shrugged. "I was hungry." "You knew it was mine." Another shrug. "It's not that big of a deal, you always make a fuss about food." I could feel my soul leaving my body. My parents? They took her side again. "It was just lasagna. You should be happy she liked it. Mia can always make more." Oh, I was about to make sure Emily never stole my food again. And that's when the idea struck me. The perfect revenge. See, Emily had a date coming over in a few days, a guy she had been obsessing over. She wanted everything to be perfect. The house clean, her outfit flawless, her makeup on point. And of course, she wanted to impress him with her cooking skills. Perfect. Because on that day I was going to make the most delicious, irresistible, homemade dish for myself. And I knew Emily wouldn't be able to resist stealing it. The secret ingredient? Laxatives. Not enough to hurt her, of course. Just enough to turn her date night into an absolute horror show. I spent days planning everything, bought the finest ingredients, slow-cooked the sauce to perfection, made sure the dish smelled so good that Emily wouldn't be able to help herself. And then, just to make things even better, I set up cameras inside the house, because if I was going to pull this off, I needed to witness the absolute carnage firsthand. I had no idea just how well my plan was going to work. But let me tell you, what happened next was comedy gold. The day of Emily's big date arrived, and I was ready. I had prepared the ultimate dish, a heavenly plate of creamy, cheesy, rich pasta, topped with garlic butter shrimp. It smelled so good that even I was tempted to eat it. But there was one extra ingredient, a generous dose of laxatives. Not enough to send her to the hospital, of course, just enough to ensure that her intestines had a meltdown. I placed the pasta in the fridge and went about my evening like nothing was wrong. Right on schedule, Emily strutted into the kitchen like she owned the place, spotted my pasta, and did exactly what I expected her to do. She grabbed a fork, took a huge bite, then another, then another. "Oh my God," she moaned. "This is so good." Yeah, I bet it was. After demolishing a good portion of the plate, she put the rest back into the fridge. Why? Because she had plans. She wanted to serve it to her date like she made it herself. Perfect. Now, here's where the real fun begins. Phase 2 of the plan, the live show. I had set up 3 strategically placed cameras in the house, one in the living room, one in the dining area, and one pointing toward the bathroom hallway. I grabbed my iPad, parked my car right outside, and got ready to witness the best show of my life. 8 p.m. The date arrives. Emily's boyfriend Ryan, a dude who looked like he modeled for discount cologne ads, knocked on the door. Emily greeted him with her fake sweet voice. "Oh my God, Ryan, you look so handsome, blah blah blah." Get to the good part. They sat down at the table and Emily served him the pasta. I was dying of laughter already. Ryan took a bite, then another. He even complimented her. "This is amazing. You really made this yourself?" Emily giggled, flipping her hair. "Of course, I love cooking. LMAO. Then came the moment of truth. 8:20 p.m. The stomach rumbles begin. Emily suddenly shifted in her chair. I could see it on the camera. Her face twitched. Her stomach gurgled so loudly I could hear it through my iPad speakers. Ryan kept eating, totally oblivious. Emily smiled, but it was strained. She pressed her hand against her stomach like she was holding in a demon. Then across the table, Ryan paused. His expression changed. He blinked rapidly, shifted in his seat. Then came the first fart. A tiny, hesitant one. A sound that he clearly did not mean to let out. Emily's eyes widened in horror. Then, boom, a second, longer fart. Ryan broke the sound barrier. I was wheezing in my car. 8:25 p.m. The real chaos begins. Emily shot up from her chair. Ryan, I'll be right back." She bolted for the bathroom. Ryan sat frozen for a second. He looked around, panicked, sweat forming on his forehead. Then his stomach made a noise that I can only describe as a demonic possession. The man leapt from his chair and sprinted after Emily. Here's where it gets even better. Emily didn't lock the bathroom door fast enough. Ryan, in his desperation, barged in. Both of them screamed. "Ryan, get out! Emily, I can't hold it." They were fighting over the toilet. The cameras captured everything. At this point, I was crying from laughter. I could barely breathe, but it gets worse. Emily pushed Ryan and quickly locked the door. The bathroom was now occupied. Ryan banged on the door. "Emily, please, open up." Inside, Emily was fighting her own war. "I can't. I'm busy." Ryan doubled over. His stomach let out a final warning roar. A sound I can only describe as a dying whale trapped in a tornado. Sweat poured down his face. He hopped from foot to foot. And then, he made a decision. With a wild look in his eyes, Ryan took off running toward the guest bathroom down the hall. But no, the door was locked. The keys? Nowhere to be found. I was losing it. Ryan stood in the hallway, frantically looking for a solution. He glanced around. There was nowhere to go. Emily was still screaming inside the main bathroom. Ryan looked at the kitchen sink. I thought he was going to do it. I was sitting in my car, slamming the steering wheel in laughter. Then, Ryan spotted the backyard door. A glimmer of hope crossed his face. With one last surge of energy, he sprinted toward the backyard. And then disaster struck. Emily burst out of the bathroom. Right as Ryan passed by, full collision. They slammed into each other at full speed like two high-speed trains. Emily screamed. Ryan yelped. And then, Emily grabbed her stomach. Ryan grabbed his. And at the exact same time, a duet of disaster. I was in my car, screaming, crying, laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I had to slap my own knee to get air back into my lungs. Ryan took off running toward the backyard again. Emily tried to follow, but she slipped on the tile floor. She went down like a sack of potatoes. Ryan vanished into the backyard, sprinting like his life depended on it. Emily lay there, wheezing, unable to move. And me? I was dead. Gone. I had officially ascended to the afterlife from how hard I was laughing. Ryan finally made it to a safe spot, the bushes behind the shed. Emily was still on the floor, staring at the ceiling, reevaluating her life choices. And just when I thought things couldn't get any funnier, headlights flashed outside. Mom and Dad had come home early. Mom and Dad's car pulled into the driveway. Inside the house, Emily was still on the floor, wheezing in agony. Ryan was in the backyard bushes, fighting for his life. And me? I was in my car, iPad in hand, trying not to pass out from laughter. As soon as Mom stepped out of the car, she wrinkled her nose. "What the hell is that smell?" Dad sniffed the air and gagged. "Did something die in there?" "Oh, Dad, you have no idea." They hurried inside. Mom and Dad stepped into the house. I followed them behind but didn't enter the house. The smell hit them like a brick wall. Mom gagged immediately. "What is that?" Dad was dry heaving in the hallway. Then they saw Emily, still on the floor, a broken, defeated human being. Her makeup was ruined. Her hair was a disaster. Sweat dripped from her forehead. And then Ryan walked in. Correction, Ryan stumbled in. He was shirtless, drenched in sweat, eyes dead, moving like a man who had just survived an exorcism. His belt was half undone, his legs trembled, and he didn't make eye contact with anyone. "What the hell happened?" Dad demanded. Emily, still panting, raised a shaky hand. I don't know," she whispered, voice haunted. Ryan clutched the wall, his soul halfway out of his body. "I need to go home," he muttered. But before he could escape, a loud, wet, unholy sound ripped from someone's stomach. Mom screamed. Dad gagged again. Ryan froze, horror spreading across his face. Then Emily broke. She started crying. Dad, furious, turned to me. "Did you do this?" I tried to keep a straight face. "Do what?" I asked, barely holding in my laughter. Mom pointed at Emily. "She looks like she's been through a war." Dad turned to Ryan, who still looked like a man who had seen the face of God and regretted it. Mom turned to me. "What did you do?" I shrugged. "I don't know, Mom. Maybe the pasta didn't sit well with them." Emily let out a weak, strangled cry. You poisoned me." I raised my eyebrows. "Me? Poison? That's a strong accusation, sis. What makes you think that?" Emily screamed. "Because it feels like my stomach is trying to kill me, that's why." Dad was still in the hallway, doing breathing exercises to keep himself from passing out. Ryan, he just left. He didn't say goodbye, didn't even grab his jacket, just walked out the front door like he had experienced something no human should ever go through. "Boo? Who did this?" Mom whispered. I shrugged. Emily cooked the food. Emily lost it. She lunged at me. I ran. Dad chased me too. Mom started crying. And Ryan, we never saw him again. Aftermath. Worth it? Absolutely. Was I grounded? Yes. Was it worth every second? Yes. Because one thing was certain. Emily never stole my food again. Ever. And that, my friends, is how I won the greatest sibling battle in history.